a dream can feel like a preview when real life later seems to repeat its details. Oh, so what evidence would show that the dream truly came first? The answer begins with the simple difference between remembering an event and documenting it beforehand. A remembered match gives us an experience, while a dated record gives us something we can examine. That distinction matters because dream memory passes through several stages before we can describe it. First, the mind produces an experience during sleep. Then, some trace of that experience must enter memory. Later, we retrieve part of that trace after waking. Each stage can preserve certain details while allowing other details to fade. This is where a powerful experience becomes difficult to verify. When a dream returns only after a similar event begins, retrieval is already happening beside the event. The present moment can guide which fragment comes forward and which fragment stays quiet. We are comparing reality with a memory that is becoming available in real time. The feeling remains genuine, while its cause still requires evidence gathered from outside that feeling. Dream research gives us a practical reason to expect resemblance in the first place. Researchers have compared dream reports with records of recent waking experiences. Those comparisons show that waking life regularly supplies material for dreams. People, concerns, places, and actions from recent life can appear again during sleep. Emotionally intense waking experiences were especially likely to appear in dream reports in one sleep study. Other work found that personally significant events could enter dreams across later nights as well. Dreams can therefore contain familiar pieces without preserving one complete waking episode. That makes sense when we remember how dreams combine people, places, and actions so freely. A later event may share several of these pieces because both grew from the same daily life. Resemblance now has an ordinary root, yet the strength of the recognition still needs an explanation. The next clue comes from the matches our memory keeps available. One study presented people with dream reports and later events that either confirmed or contradicted them. Participants later recalled significantly more confirming pairs than disconfirming pairs. The pattern appeared across people with different prior beliefs about precognitive dreams. This creates a simple imbalance in the evidence we carry forward. A striking match stays vivid, while quiet mismatches receive much less attention. Over time, the memorable successes can feel like the complete record. The missing comparisons are the dreams that led nowhere, and the details that diverged. Once those cases return to the count, our estimate of accuracy may change sharply. Selective recall explains part of the experience, and déjà vu adds another layer. Researchers tested familiarity by placing participants inside computer-generated environments. Participants first explored several scenes and later entered scenes with different visible objects. Some new scenes quietly preserved the spatial arrangement of a scene viewed earlier. When the earlier scene stayed outside conscious recall, that shared arrangement still increased familiarity. It also increased reports of déjà vu. The current place could look different while its underlying layout activated an older memory trace. This gives us a measured route from similarity to familiarity without conscious recognition. And what happens when that familiarity begins to feel like advanced knowledge? A later experiment paused virtual routes and asked participants to predict the next turn. Some routes resembled earlier routes that participants had seen but could no longer identify. Those similarities increased reports of déjà vu and strengthened the sense of knowing the next direction. Predictive accuracy stayed near chance even as confidence rose. The certainty felt informative, yet the prediction itself gained no measurable accuracy. This is the turning point for a dream that seems to become real. Our certainty can be sincere, immediate, and physically convincing. Its intensity tells us how strongly the moment affected us. Evidence from before the event tells us how closely the dream actually matched it. Those are different questions, and both deserve careful attention. The difference can feel smaller in the moment than it looks on paper. A simple dream log gives us a fairer way to examine the next experience. We can write the dream down immediately after waking and preserve the original entry. The entry should include people, places, actions, spoken phrases, order, and any expected next event. We can also choose the matching rules before daily life supplies a candidate. A useful rule specifies which details must align and how long the prediction remains active. When a possible match appears, we compare it with the complete entry. Aligned details remain in the result alongside missing, altered, and extra details. Dreams with little later resemblances remain in the same record as the memorable matches. An independent reader can compare the entries without knowing which event impressed us most. This method protects the experience from being reshaped by the excitement of recognition. It also gives an unusual match a stronger foundation if the details genuinely align. A documented match would still leave its mechanism as a separate question. Current research supports several memory-based routes to resemblance, familiarity, and felt prediction. Individual experiences may still contain details that these studies have yet to explain. We can respect that open space while becoming more precise about what we observed. The next dream may fade by breakfast, or it may stay clear enough to record. If a later moment resembles it, the original words will still be waiting for comparison. The similarities will remain visible beside the differences that recognition might otherwise soften. The mystery can stay with us, while the evidence tells us exactly where the mystery begins.